So let's talk about Xiang Yu. This buff. This is the type of buff they really needed to give him. He is not a looper, and they should not have tried to even give him a buff that would make him a better looper. Xiang Yu is basically a Buster Servant that just has an AoE quick MP, just to gen stars. This guy is supposed to crit till you're dead. And honestly, this buff is just more welcome. It makes his deck a lot more complete. That even if you're using Ruler Scotty, you're still gonna see like benefits, even more benefits in his Buster card. Although you probably are gonna include Vitch or Khazra drop. It really does depend, especially the part with Vitch. If you're using Khazra drop, it really would depend on if you're fighting man attribute or not. And that's why you go into the lab and test stuff out for yourself. There is no one team fits all solution, despite Invincible Comp pretty much doing it. That still takes a very long time to do that. So let us talk about Guchan's hubby. I would play a clip, but A, too early in the video for it. B, I don't know how much you guys know about Nuxtaku, but some of his clips are just not meant to be played at the start of a video. Horseman, you can like, I'm not gonna sing the song, but Horseman here, if you know if you get what I'm talking about, you get what I'm talking about. Let's say Guchan is singing a certain song he likes to sing. 11.6k attack, not as crazy high as you would think for a crit machine like this, but you also have to remember is a berserker and getting a like just damage bonus on top of everything, like a base damage multiplier. So even if his base attack is lower than say Summer Ibuki, it's still higher than most other servants. Like, it's pretty much only Avengers that like push up higher because they have the same type of modifier. HP, don't worry about this. Just worry about like trying to keep this guy alive. He's gonna go down very, very quickly if you are not careful. Definitely try, like, basically this guy, it does function like a Buster Esports unit, so you probably do want to have like supports like Nightingale and Bunyan, especially with Outrage, like get cycled in, because it's really just gonna help this guy stay alive, and also those other buffers are just gonna make his cards hit even harder. And again, you can also change that to bring battery supports if you need them. But I'm just gonna say, even though he got this MP buff, it's not saying they want you to spam his MP, because that is not the purpose of the MP buff. It's so that you have an actual reason to click the MP and not just Buster Brave Chain everything. MP charge 0.51%. He is expected to be critting on these on the quick card and the arts card. They're pretty okay, but you only have one of them, and this is just kind of how they balance MP gain with triple berserker decks. They make the quick and arts cards just a lot better in comparison to like other characters, just so like when you multiply, like you get a good decent average gain. But again, triple buster, run Vitch, and then he charges off his buster cards. All right, first skill got buffed a while ago. And this was basically Eye of the Mind false, just on a one turn, and 50 damage, 50%. So when they buffed it, they made it 100%, and they gave you star weight for the turn at 5,000%. At the time, like, this was his first buff, and this gave him star weight, which he desperately needed. He could already make some stars, not a lot from the MP, but he could make some. So if you could crit, he would crit very hard. Second skill, it's even hard to say this would need a buff in the future, because of this cooldown. If this was on a 6 turn, I could definitely see them trying to buff this. But because this is on a 5, they might just say, eh. Like, if they buff it, it's going to be a small buff. It's not going to be a good one. And that would just be, like, making this 3 turns and probably putting it, like, a 10 star bomb on or something. But solid skill. Especially if you're not running Cosro Drop, you're going to want this up all the time because just card buffs. For Buster, especially if you're doing a lot of Buster crits, you're gonna want a lot of Buster up, so those crits get multiplicatively buffed. But you are gonna want Merlin in his comp too. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm saying Cosro Drop, Koyanskaya, Summer Scotty. You're gonna want Merlin too because he gives 150% crit damage, along with the Buster buff. So, like, even still, Merlin's buff is shining through even more. Third skill, honestly, now this is the weakest part of his kit. And I say that even though it has this part, I only say it's weak because it's 10 stars for 3 turns. That's not a whole lot if he doesn't make stars to begin with. And then Invo Pierce for 3 turns. This with the MP buff actually does, like, make so much sense because you would need Invo Pierce a lot more than you would need Defense Pierce. You need the Invul Pierce to crit anyway. Defense Pierce, you're gonna get it when you need it. Only passive he has, Misfortune Enhancement. Buster up 8%, 8% crit damage. So, appends. Am I gonna say mana loading? Abso-fucking-lutely not. It really is. If he is crit DPS and you're doing Brave Chains, you want this, so his extra attack does good. This kinda, but I would actually highly advise against getting this extra crit damage. The reason being is he is a character that is so goddamn likely to hit the fucking cap on crit damage. Like the 400, it's either 450 or 550% of that part of the formula where it just caps out. Once you hit there, you don't get any more damage. So this might push you closer to hitting that ceiling and making it super awkward because this is 30 and all of his supports are increments of 50. So you're basically not getting the full bonus of one of your supports that you're paying a cost for. So I would skip this. If you go this, his skills are on extremely short cooldowns. So if Vitch is being incorporated, you have a very good chance of double popping some of his skills. And yeah, for him, higher burst damage because you can possibly get off another crit damage, like really good crit damage turn before this, before like the 3rd or 4th turn or something. Again, it depends on the CQ and how you're spacing out the crit damage. Because you definitely, by the way, you definitely should not be popping everything at once. This skill you pop when you need it. This skill you pop first. This skill you pop first. But this skill is definitely, you pop this if you know you're going to crit. Otherwise, it's waste. But yeah, having higher uptime on all of his skills is just going to make him a more reliable crit servant. MP. This is what it was before. He had no normal effects and 20% MP damage, and that was it. Garbage NP. Now, holy fucking shit, this makes so much more sense for him. So, defense pierce for 1 turn and it activates with 4 damage. Why do I feel this is important? Because A, quick MP, so you lead with the MP, arts, buster for a mighty chain, or it's MP, buster. Why would you do that? Better chance to crit. The buster cards are at the lower back end of the chain, so they will do more. And defense pierce before you do any kind of damage. I know people like to do buster card lead, but if the first card doesn't do any fucking damage or does so much less damage than it should because you didn't have the defense pierce, why would you even do it in the first place? You're basically taking the damage from that first card and you're trying to have your 3rd card make up for one of the cards not doing damage. Your buffs have to be so fucking high for you to like pick one of your cards not doing damage and the other doing all the damage over MP, slightly less damage, but all of them should be doing a lot of damage. But if you're doing a Mighty Chain, even better, because that also means higher refund, and you might be able to spam this again if you need it. And you can kind of change the positioning on the arts card just based off refund. More importantly, he ramps up crit damage. Now he has crit damage in his own kit that is not one turn. Again, this skill can get buffed to give him 3 turns. And I think it would just be a lot better for him, and he'd be more consistent. Like but if you're able to have high uptime on his crit damage, him being the one to ramp it up is great because it's general crit damage. What kind of crit damage does Ruler Scotty provide? Only Buster crit. So your arts and quick cards, if they crit, they're not doing that much damage, especially if you're using Cosmo Drop. I kind of feel like this buff really was just to like hammer it down for Cosmo Drop to be used with him, especially with this last part, 20% defense down. So if you use him with Cosmo Drop, you hit 90% defense down after she MPs and he MPs. With Buster crits. Holy fucking shit. Like, do people realize how, like, little Buster farming, like, actually involves, like, defense down? Like, this shit is going to hit so hard, especially if, again, you're cycling in and bringing other supports and adding in attack buffs. And then you're really just going to see a lot of shit going down. Like, health bars just getting straight up deleted. He's keeping the MP damage, and it's not ramp up, but damn, is this guy looking so much better. These mats, I don't usually have problems of, except maybe the bullets, but again, just do a lotto, forehead, easy, lol. Bond CE, quick performance up, Buster up. This character is now, like, so much better. He is so much better. He used to be one of the worst 5 stars in the game. Now, like, No. Because the way you would actually be using him, you would be doing so much esports that supporters are cycling in like crazy. I could easily see Miss Crane being brought in to like add the attack buffs, and then she swaps out and just keeps adding more and more buffers just to like keep this cycle going with him. Is this a character you need to go out of your way to summon for? Fuck no, this is a permanent. He is a permanent servant. Do not go all in on summoning for him. But now, if you get him, he's not like a dead drop. This buff actually works really good with Nightingale's buff. Because now, both of them... Well, no, because again, like I said, use Outrage, and then Nightingale is dropping her buffs and getting the fuck out. So that's more crit damage for... Oh, wait, it's... 1 second. I actually forgot all of what her buff did, because I knew it was like Mini Merlin. Yeah, Buster up, small Buster crit damage, and stars. Oh, okay, here's where the 30 is. So, if you're... No, okay. I was about to say, if you're using a 30. Yeah. If you have the append for bonus crit damage, because Nightingale is only hitting 30, it's not that much of a waste if you have Nightingale, because then you're only losing like 10% max if you actually hit the cap. And again, if you don't hit the cap, you don't hit the cap. I'm just saying, if you hit the cap, you probably would want increments of 50, so you're getting the most out of everything. But yeah, he has like very just high esports potential, because he's Buster, and it's not that hard to kill Buster supports that are not Merlin, and it's not that hard to kill quick supports either. So yeah, great glow up. We'll see how he places on Berserker list. I kind of even said, like, back then, like, I didn't even see him as like a farmer. It was just like he's a Berserker that just does like really stupid burst crit damage. Now he's a lot less bursty and can be more consistent. And his just buffs work better with supports. Like he's not fault, like he doesn't go from like 300 in one turn to like dropping to 100 the next turn. Like he's not gonna have those massive cliffs in his damage. All right, I got a lot of gacha to be doing this weekend. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.